Why are you awake? Why am I awake? Why are you awake? Why is he awake? Why is she awake? Why are they awake? Nico! I'm awake because I can't sleep. That's the answer. Okay, my controller for some reason isn't working at all. That's because it's the wrong controller. It's not connected to anything. We all wake for ice cream. No, I did sleep a little bit. Did you sleep at all, Nico? Excuse me. Okay, that's good at least. Good 5 hours, nice. What RLM videos you watched? I was supposed to do a Discord thing, like a movie thing, but I was too tired. Shingle all the way. Yeah, they don't like that movie. Yeah, what a bunch of dopes. Turboman. Yeah, it's almost Turboman season. How'd I miss a star or 2 or 4? Could have sworn I got every star. I'm tired. I have not too much to do today, but enough to do. And my acid reflux hasn't been doing too great lately, but I blame myself too for that, for not eating better generally. Otherwise I'm okay, thank you. I am usually the same mentally every day, which is barely hanging on to my sanity and my happiness. But yeah, it is what it is. You son of a... How about you, Nico? How are you feeling? How'd I get hit? I specifically stayed back so I wouldn't get hit. Anyway, alright. I may be bad, but I feel good. Oh, I can't remember now where that's from. I don't even know what just hit me, to be honest. I really don't. Okay, that one, I wasn't trying to climb the freaking ladder. How do I get hit by him, but not... Hi-fi, hi-fi. What's up, buddy? Your brain must be really tired. It's from RoboCop. No, it's not. Why are you messing with me? No, it's not. What's up, hi-fi? Alright. West Coast gang gang. Hey, big American titties. How you doing, Hi-Fi? I may be bad, but I feel good. That is not from RoboCop. I don't remember where it's from, though. I'm gonna be passing on a sec, but I saw you want to take a look. Thank you, Hi-Fi. That means a lot. Thank you, buddy. You have a good sleep. Hopefully the soothing sounds of hitting the wrong thing in this game, that will put you right to sleep. That is one of the most annoying sound effects of all time. It was 1989, so... have a good one, Hi-Fi. See, now it's gonna drive me crazy. Now I have to look up that line. Yeah, Army of Darkness, okay. Lady, you got real ugly. Yeah, that's why I don't know Army of Darkness as well as some of the other movies I grew up on. I didn't get into Army of Darkness until I was a little older, so I don't know it by heart. But yeah, that's right, Army of Darkness. Thank you. MGS4 has the secret best MGS. Oh dear. Hey, good afternoon or morning, Spinska. That's the complete wrong opinion, but that's okay. Ah, crap. Oh boy, oof. GTA 4 and MGS4, oof. Oof. Hey, let me cough! How you doing, buddy? Alright, it is in fact on normal. I can tell because there's not bats every 3 seconds in this section. Yeah, that's true. We got MGS4 before GTA 6. Yeah, I don't know the significance of that. Oh, yeah. I am Lemikoff. I'm determined to keep going until I beat at least one game, but I've made it a little easier for myself. Plus, there were some controller issues the first time and yesterday that have now been fixed. So that'll help, and there's only Sega games and there's much less games. I went from 34 to 15, so there's at least a better chance of me beating like at least one damn game. I switched out Batman with, Aladdin. I couldn't take Batman anymore. That's funny, you spelled it right the first time, but then misspelled it the second time. That's funny. How many Sonic games we have? I love that that's the first question. 4. Master System, 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, there's 4 Sonic games, so 4 out of 15. Yeah. So most of them aren't Sonic, at least. That's the only thing that sucks, is that the less games you have in a shuffler, the more tiring it's gonna be, because there's less variety. The more tired you're gonna get of seeing, like, the same games. But at least it's consistent, so it's a little easier. What if you shuffled all Castlevania games? Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, you know, and for starters, I haven't played all Castlevania games. That's the beginning. If it's just the ones I've played, oh boy. Oh boy. 2 would not work in a shuffler. 2, 3, oh, it's just so hard that might not work either. There's only a handful of games that I'd be able to do. I'd only be able to do really 1... maybe 3. 2 is out of the question. Bloodlines, 4, and Rondo Blood. That's what, 5 games? That would kind of suck for a shuffler, just to have like 5 games. No, I don't like 3D Blast, no. I've tried. I hate games where I have to, like... It asks so much for you to try to like it. That's not how a game should work. A game should be as appealing as possible. It shouldn't have to force the player to like it. I've tried and it just hasn't happened, so... I shouldn't have to work so hard to like a video game. Just play Shenmue, super short game. Maybe in the future. It can't be for this shuffler because it's not a Genesis game, but... at the very least, I'm gonna finish Yakuza whenever the shuffler is finished. Or Fist of the North Star, one of those. I didn't realize normal... I swear this is... whatever. Did I put it on expert mode by accident? An 18 hours, that'd be generous. 18 hours, it's gonna be quadruple that. 18 hours, yeah. That's being very conservative, 18 hours for all the Metal Gear games. Oh god. Yay, extra hit point. Those are always appreciated. Death Stranding 2. Yeah, a game shouldn't, like, have to make you work so hard to like it. A game should be appealing, you know. Should be as smooth to get into as possible. I don't know. Yeah, okay, I gotta get you now, okay. Shenmue is not short, okay. Oh, come on, I hate that it does that. It drives me crazy. For no reason, you lose all your speed in that loop. Oh, my feet. Get up there! What are you doing? Grab the goddamn thing. crap. Sometimes I can kill you fast enough. Sometimes. Please let this be one of those times. Damn it. No, it doesn't matter. It'll still work out. Oh, maybe not. How many streams is it gonna take, I wonder? How many? No, I pressed jump. Ah, I hate that. Now you gotta die. Yeah, there we go. Now I need the shot A. It totally sucked me in. See, I want to be sucked on the first try. Exactly! The fuck? At that point, I'm just like, you don't know what you're doing. Get out of here. Got your nose. Yeah, you guys are taking forever. Home Alone will be the last game to be beaten because it's time limit based. It's 15 minutes. It's not objective based. And I didn't think about that when I chose to play this. Or to include this. I didn't think about that. Ah, crap. I'm trying to think if there's any game I didn't like at the start that I grew on. I guess Metal Gear Solid 3 would be the one game that I didn't care much for and then loved. That rarely happens. Metal Gear Solid 3, when I first played it, was really overwhelming with how much they removed that was easier from previous games. Like, healing was easier, hiding was easier. Everything was easier in 1 and 2. Everything had to be more complex and limited in 3. I don't know how to describe it. More complex, and you're more limited. Does that make sense? Yeah, I know, Nico, I know. Oh, fucking asshole. Yay, thank God. I don't even know why I'm bothering. Oh, okay. Oh, give me a break. Home Alone 2 on the second difficulty. Yeah, I know. That's the one I always play on. I mean, if you're gonna play Home Alone, for some reason you feel like playing Home Alone for the Genesis, yeah, play it on Expert mode, because that's how you get all the weapons, and you get a full playthrough. Unfortunately, with it being that long, you get to really feel how repetitive and mediocre a game it is. But I can't help it, man, I like it, unfortunately. I love playing it as mediocre and dull as it is. I always hate that sound effect. But yeah, in December I'm finally gonna do Home Alone 2 for the Genesis. I heard that was okay, at least. Which would still be an improvement. When I was a kid, when I first discovered, not when I discovered, when I first got to try like emulators, I played, what was it, Home Alone for the Super Nintendo, and I was shocked at how awful it was compared to the Genesis version. Usually, by that point, like, usually Super Nintendo versions were more often than not the same game as the Genesis version, just with better graphics or music. So yeah, I was pretty shocked. That was one of the first big shocks, like, dang, this is so much worse than the version we had. How is that possible? You're like the stronger console, what the hell? Oh yeah, this boss fight uses the wrong music for some reason, because this game was made really fast, yeah. Every subsequent Sonic game was made in less and less time. Sonic 3 was made in like 6 months. It's insane. That's why they had to split it. They just didn't have time to finish it. Oh, I could have skipped all this. Oh well. Hindsight is 2020. That really pisses me off. Oh, for sure, yeah. Yeah, because they need to fill games with a bunch of needless things that have nothing to do with gameplay, yeah. Yeah. I didn't even know you could destroy those boxes. Barrels, sorry. Or maybe it was a box. No, it was the same here. PS1 made like 10 times the amount of sold 10 times the amount of consoles as the N64, something like that. Yeah, no, it's the same here. PS1 completely dominated. That generation is what, like, really set Nintendo back. Yeah. Yeah, if you look up the sales for PS1, I think in the States too, yeah, it completely is dominated by PS1. The games are cheaper, it came out a year earlier, like, yeah. It was CD based, like, Nintendo never had a chance. No. N64, I should say, never had a chance. And then by that point, they had burned all their bridges with all of the developers they had worked with in the Super Nintendo era, so yeah, it was just never gonna work. And then PS2 again, yeah. Yeah, although Xbox did really well that generation too, I think. Okay, it is on normal, because there's a 1-up. Yeah, I don't know, because we're that age where we were kids when those consoles came out, so if you were a kid, you weren't more likely to have an N64, but that was the game for, like, kids. That was, like, the party console. There's probably a lot more kids that, I don't know, enjoyed those games more. I don't know. If you ask someone who was like in their 20s when those consoles came out, you'd probably get a different answer. Yeah, 30 million versus 150, yeah. Yeah. Yep, GameCube was pretty bad. That was like their lowest selling console until the Wii. It just kept getting worse and worse, and then, yeah, the Wii changed it back. There we go. It actually is finally the case this time, where it's spelled wrong and then corrected. Bye. Well, here's hoping. I mean, consoles are dying anyway, but yeah, here's hoping. Yeah, that's true. Not as many games consistently on PS3, though they did have a lot of really good games that lasted you. I mean, within the first year you had, The Darkness to start with, and then Metal Gear Solid 4, and then GTA 4. What else was in... well, those were 08. What was in 07? I think Fallout 3, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare. So it took a little time to get the surplus of games, but there was still some good stuff early on. Yeah, PCs, yeah, you have to. I mean, it's ironically more affordable at this point, yeah. Not buying a PC, but like games, just gaming is cheaper. That's the downside always of PCs, it's like 3 times more expensive than a console. But it's worth it ultimately, you'll save money on the games you play. Oh, you son of a... I forgot how hard Vectorman was. It's not Rise Star hard or long, but it's up there. Yeah, here's hoping it's on PC, yeah. Yeah, I will never be able to play GTA 6, I'll never have a console or PC strong enough, but, I'm happy that it's coming out, whenever it does come out, There are already some things in the game that I'm not too hyped on, but that's just personal preference. Otherwise, it looks really good. The worst driving controls in any video game ever. Not just 2D, any video game period. The worst driving controls. Huh? Oh. Oh, come on, come on. Yeah, exactly. You can just refund it. Yeah. Mano al mano. Main heroes of GTA 6 will be robbers and killers who usually compared to Bonnie and Clyde, future kids' heroes. Yeah, it's an interesting direction, the relationship angle. It's about a couple, I guess. Which, but, you know, I'm trying to be open-minded. And, in fairness, people had the same reaction when 5 was coming out. 3 main characters? What? Or when 4 came out. What? A non-American? What? Yeah, they've always been robbers and killers, yeah. Man, I could technically finish this game right now. It would be the cheap way, but I could do it. I have to think about this, but not very long. Because it's gonna switch. I could free myself and get the cheap joke ending. No, I don't know if I could do that. That'd be too cheap. Yeah, they're not meant to be role models. They are all scumbags. They're entertaining, likable scumbags, but they're all killers and thieves, and they're not good people. Nah, I'm not gonna cheap out. I'm gonna do it the real way. Okay, I'm not gonna cheap out. Just die already. I mean, there are degrees of cruelty, degrees of callousness, but they're all still murderers. Like, they're all still killers at the end of the day. And it's for greedy reasons. It's not for noble reasons either. It's solely for greed. Some are more likable than others, but that's what they are. They're greedy murderers. Every GTA protagonist. At any point, they could get, like, an actual job or, you know, try, but they are murderers. They are solely for money. Like, that's what they are. Crap. Bye. Yeah, they're all criminals. Yeah, they all have killed, and they've killed to make money for themselves. There's no nobility in that, yeah. They are what they are. Ah, son of a... I hate when that happens, and it's gonna have me lose this because of that. Come on, no, come on. I hate this special stage so much. Bye. Yeah, CJ was also a criminal. Yeah, CJ killed. Yeah, maybe he's the least messed up in that regard. He's the least cruel or selfish or bloodlusty, I don't know, but he is still one of them, yeah. This thing keeps picking the worst times to switch. Absolute worst moments. It's like it knows. Yeah, they're likable, but it doesn't pretend that they're good people either, I guess. Like, everyone in GTA 5 is a stereotype. A negative stereotype on top of that. I mean, is there a positive stereotype? I guess not, but, Claude in 3 has no character. I can't even remember the protagonist from Vice City. I don't even remember his name. Extra life, please. Always get the extra life. What was his name? Tommy Vercetti? Was that it? Yeah, Red Dead is the total opposite. It's about redemption. Yeah, I mean, it's in the title, but yeah, Red Dead is the complete opposite of GTA. Where they're scumbags, but they're trying to improve. They'll die, they'll get killed, they'll die to improve. They'd rather that than be worse people. You know, I don't know. Either that, or they pay for what they've done. It's one or the other. Either we're gonna die trying to improve ourselves, or we're going to pay for our crimes. Or both, I don't know. Yeah, they're greedy murderers, but at the very least they're trying to improve. That's the big difference. That's the thing. It was a great point in Godfather 3, as awful as that movie is that God forgives, man doesn't. Yeah. And even John Marston in Redemption says as much. Like, nothing gets forgiven. Yeah, nothing gets forgotten. You're going to pay the price at some point. It's inevitable. And that's a level of maturity you'll never get from a GTA game. Because that's not the point of GTA, it's meant to be funny satire. Power fantasy, wish fulfillment sort of thing. I'm gonna regret not getting that one up, but I just want to get a move on. Ah, oh, come on. Sure, Grades of Evil, yeah. Exactly, it's just fun. They finally had some maturity in Red Dead. But yeah, the GTA is just supposed to be like Scarface without any of the consequences. That's what GTA is. Where are you guys? It's only slightly more over the top than an actual Arnold movie. That's right, yeah, they wanted Alan Rickman, which would make sense because the director did Die Hard, but yeah, they had to use Charles Dance. And he's really good in that movie, but like every movie he did back in the day wasn't great. Even though I don't like Game of Thrones, I appreciate it for giving him some exposure to the mainstream and something good. Okay. 0 out of 1 games completed. Nice. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, and I wish I hadn't have done this, and it's inevitably going to happen with every clip that I have on my channel, but I've seen that high so many times it's lost its luster a little bit. But it's still one of the best moments in that movie. Hi. That's so Arnold, and that's so perfect. Yeah, I'm using the wire, and Last Action Hero is a mess, but there's so much good in it. Even with an armor. Yeah, isn't that how bulletproof vests work? Yeah. They're not meant to just take shotgun blasts with no consequence. That's not how they work. Charles owned every scene he was in Game of Thrones, showing downhill after his death. Yeah, he was the one who had sex with Ripley, and he got killed for it. Yeah. Alien 3, another one, not a great movie. Yeah, everything Charles Dance did back then. He was like the best part of some of the weakest movies or messy movies. The worst part of Last Action is a stupid kid. Yeah, that movie's just a mess. The whole movie should have just been in the movie. That's it. I would prefer someone who's not a kid, but if you're gonna do that, just do the movie and that's it. He has a fun adventure in a movie, an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, and that's it. But they have to have this, like, tonal whiplash of the real-life dark stuff that doesn't work, and then they have things that are just way too silly for even... Like, the movie forgets that it's an Arnold Schwarzenegger parody many, many times. Unfortunately. When it remembers that it's an Arnold Schwarzenegger parody, that's when it's at its best. When it doesn't, that's... yeah... There's like 3 different movies in that film. One is a dark take on if he brought a character a fictional character into the real world, which I've done that on Outer Limits and Twilight Zone. Those are always depressing episodes. Either you're doing that, you're doing an Arnold Schwarzenegger, like, hard R, gory, over-the-top parody, or you're doing a kid's film where kid goes to see his favorite, I don't know, not action hero, but favorite fictional character and has a fun adventure. Those are 3 completely different ideas at odds with each other in that movie. Yeah, those are not compatible. Those are not compatible ideas. Oh, sure. I mean, most movies are better than Alien 4. Alien 3, if you watch it as its own thing, it works better than as a sequel to 1 and 2. I'll say that. I like Alien 3. I think it's a good movie, but it's an insult to the rest of the series before it. It just doesn't work as a sequel. Maybe its own thing, but it does not work as a sequel. It's tonally too dark and mean-spirited and cruel. And yeah, it just does not fit. Yeah, that cannot be forgiven. It just can't. Like, 2 is a masterpiece, and to do it that dirty in 3, no matter what 3 gets right, that'll always be a black mark on it. And they even went so far to have them cut open Newt's corpse. Like, they just have that little respect for aliens. They had to go that far. Let's cut open Newt's, like, a child's corpse. Like, what? Anyway. I can't blame David Fincher too much. He was mostly a director for hire, but it feels like right up his alley where it's so nihilistic and cruel and mean, almost for the sake of it. Which isn't entirely true. The whole point of Alien 3, it's a movie about accepting death and what you want to do before you die. And that's a really brutal topic to do. It's never fun, obviously. Yeah, it's David Fincher. That was his first movie. Which, again, I can't blame him too much. He didn't write the thing, you know, he was really mostly brought on as a director for hire. And even then, they wouldn't let him have full control. So yeah, it's not really a full David Fincher movie. Like, even David Fincher hates Alien 3. He had such a miserable experience making it, and that probably didn't help. That is one of the most infamous production stories is Alien 3. Like, nothing went right on that film. Everything was such a fight constantly between studio and Fincher. I'm with Gabe on... Gabe is always right, no matter what, he's always right. I'm with Gabe on how they should have done it. If you were gonna make it a movie where you're, you know, going on about Death and Ripley, maybe just leave Hicks and Newt and Bishop. Maybe you could leave Bishop because he's, you know, just an android, but if you want to do that, then just focus solely on Ripley. I don't know why they had to kill the other characters. I get why, but it just felt needless and mean-spirited. Yeah, again, 3 works well on its own, but as a sequel to Aliens and Alien, it's just, it doesn't fit at all. It's too dark, it's too mean-spirited, and it's too cruel to its characters. That is so 90s techno, it's amazing. They got that across in a video game that perfectly. This is 95, so that makes sense. Man, they still haven't given me the knife, that's crazy. I mean, that's fair, that's fair. It does change it a bit, that's true, where, it took one alien to kill an entire ship full of people in the first movie, and yeah, they're gunned down pretty liberally in part 2. I mean, that's a fair criticism. But I don't think of 2 as just an action movie, I think that's a little disingenuous. 2 is still horror, it's just not as much of it, or as good of it, or, you know, that being the only thing. But, you know, that I can understand. Yeah, the aliens are made of... It's more about... It's more like a zombie movie. It's not like the threat of one, but how many, you know? Sure, sure, and that's a factor too. But, you know, it is true that the whole thing about the first movie is that it is smart enough to be able to, like, get through all these people by itself. Like, that's... They're not as intelligent in part 2. They're not as, intimidating. Even if it is military, which does help a bit. That does help a bit in explaining, like, how they could kill so many. But yeah, they're not as smart or as intimidating as the first movie. That's not to say that they're not still smart or intimidating, just not as much as part 1. They're more like animals in part 2. Whereas part 1 is like a person or something. Like a slasher villain or something. That's what the alien is in part 1. What if you birthed a slasher villain? Like, that's the movie, pretty much. Like, there's a point in Alien 1 where it could choose to, like, kill the cat that Ripley left behind, but it leaves it to lull her into a false sense of, security. So that way, she'll think that he's not on that path, like, he's nowhere near there. Meanwhile, he's hiding in the ship, and she doesn't even know that until they've left the, Nostromo. Like, it is a clever little bastard in that first movie. It's not just like a mindless monster, he's smart. It's smart. Shit. Never get all the stars in this stage. Son of a... Yeah, they're different, and I'm not saying either one is wrong. That's the thing. I get why he did that. Like, that's a logical question. What's making these eggs? I like what Ridley Scott was doing in the first movie. That's actually more terrifying, is that each alien can make an egg. Because that's what was happening, but they deleted that in the first movie. Is that he was taking all these corpses. It was taking all these corpses to make more eggs. But for pacing reasons, they couldn't include that. So that's more horrifying, that they can just make their own, each alien can make eggs. Like, that's, by default, more horrifying, but, I understand why they didn't have an explanation in the theatrical cut of the first movie, so we have to have something, you know, have to have some reason. So let's do a queen alien. You know, I get it. And the queen alien's terrifying and used well in part 2. But certainly the idea that every individual alien can make eggs is really horrifying. That'd be a much bigger problem. No, it just hasn't shuffled to it in a while. Yeah, I forgot about Home Alone. It hasn't shuffled to it for some reason in a while. I mean, it is completely random, so that's gonna happen, unfortunately. Yeah. Ah, crap. What? I wasn't pressing forward. How did that happen just now? I don't know what just happened there. Yeah, remember Home Alone? Yeah. Yeah, even with the bad ending. Yeah, and no matter what, I don't... Yeah. Exactly, as long as you have one house not flooded, yeah, you've beaten it. Again, Home Alone does not ask much of the player. It's a mediocre game, for sure, in that there's no real stakes, but I like that it's chill, too. The same reasons why it's bad also make it work for me at the same time. It's very chill. And it's the only one from back then that was anyway accurate to the movies, so... Here's the other asshole. Ah, crap. Huh. Yeah, I don't know, I like Leo, but he is, like, kind of just the most balanced. There's not really... I don't know. Yeah, he's just the most balanced. Donnie's the best because of his range. But I try to switch it up. Whenever I play Hyperstone, Heist, or Charles in Time, whenever I get a game over, I switch to the next turtle. So, just so I could play as all of them. What the duck? And I still haven't given me this goddamn knife. Which I really need for this boss specifically. Oof. Yes, I have. I have played Shredder's Revenge. It's pretty good. Knife? Oh god, they just won't give me the knife. Okay. Yeah, it's true. I don't know why they made Mikey the strongest. They finally got that right in Shredder's Revenge, funnily enough, where they switched. Where Raph was the strongest and Mikey was the fastest. Yeah, Donnie has the best range. I think Leo's supposed to be like a balance between all of them, but yeah, he doesn't have one individual strength. Yeah. Yeah. Ah, I pressed jump. I don't know what happened there. I pressed jump. Such crap, but okay. Oof, that's not gonna end well. Again, this thing keeps picking the absolute worst times to shuffle. I don't know why I always get this thing if I'm always gonna fail at this minigame. Yeah, I don't know why I get the Abu tokens. Alright. What game am I furthest in? Sonic, probably. Oh god, yeah, no thanks. No thanks, yeah, I don't do any game on one life. Screw that. Why bother playing something if you know there's like no chance to win? Yeah. Like a shuffler I'm doing, like why bother? Ah, come on. There's no chance to be love. Why indeed? Oh, it's too funny. Oops. Just get up there. I have a little bit of time left and I have to go, and we'll continue next time. Or I'll hopefully beat, I don't know, Sonic or something. Oh. What? I can't get one extra life, this is crazy. Screw you, Sunset Riders. Oh, where's this go again? Prep, You would be right. You don't want any extra lives? Are you serious? You okay? You guys better not stick around. Yay! I was supposed to do that here. Yay! Too late now. Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's sort of quiet. The sound effects are obnoxiously loud, but yeah, the music has always been low. I, for the life of me, can never remember how to get the one-up in this stage. Yeah, you'll be fine. Shut up. Oh yeah, there's an auto-scroller, that's why I'm still on it after like 40 minutes, yeah. Yeah, the sound effect's like 15 times louder than the music. I really need that pizza, guys. Thank you. I know. It's one of the biggest sins of Sonic 1 Master. I mean, it's a slower game, just overall. And yet it's still the best one on Master System, so... Yeah, I still do. Yeah, I still like it more than Sonic Blast. Yeah, I do. Songs we're meant to listen to, checking out the best. Good songs were sent to men from God to help us pass the test. Life is for learning, and the purpose is joining up with the Lord. 1,000 bodies needed, but your soul is never destroyed. Maybe you'll learn from me, love to come in, out of the rain. If we don't get it together, honey, right here is where we remain. This thing really struggles with diagonals. Me alone, Snake? Snake? Snake! I didn't do it. I wish I could believe you, Krusty. How'd I still get hit? It's crazy. Oh, you little... Who knew beating one game could be so hard? It takes so long. Get on screen, you cheap bastard. Always on a mid jump. I was pressing down too. That's the most fucked up part. Alright, I think it's about time I head off, guys. I got a lot to do. And obviously, game's still... nothing's beaten yet, so we're gonna have to do this another stream. I don't know how many streams it's gonna take, but, I'm gonna have to stop here in a second. Thank you, Lemikoff. It's a good stopping point.